6. Not bad for the start of the defensive title they won last season for the very first time in the club's history. And there you have it. Fixtures for today. Remo taking National United, Heartland taking Dakada, Kwara versus Wiki, Akwa United, Gombe United, Lobby Stars taking Shooting Stars, Sunshine Stars versus Enugu Rangers, MFM play Plateau United, wow. Enyimba taking Rivers, and those are the fixtures for you. But guys, we will talk about Akwa United versus Gombe United. On paper, looks like 3 points in the back for the Promise Keepers.
Yeah, it is. It's a possible 3 points for Akwa United. For me, I think they've played well. The start of the season, they've done well. 1 win, 1 draw. Last game, last minute, was a last-minute draw against Shooting Stars of Ibadan. But I expect them to do well in this particular game against Gombe United. It's a home game, and the fans will support them. The attention would be on the champions. They're a good side, such a quality side at home. They'll be settled, and they play the game, go for the win, go for the kill, and get the 3 points.
All right, now let's leave here for a bit and talk about the other fixture for the day. It's got to be very exciting. We're talking about Rivers United traveling to Aba to face the People's Elephant and Yimba FC in what will be the biggest game of this particular round. So Stanley Guma comes up against Finley George, who's done a pretty fantastic job, unbeaten in the 5 games in all competitions at the continent. And of course, you look at the way he started the NPFL under guiding Yimba FC. It's been 6 points from a possible 6. But this has got to be a big game, Blind, and you know, can you tell us where you think this one will go at the end of it? It looks pretty difficult, even on paper.
It is pretty difficult. It's a big game, the biggest game we can think of today. But the way Yimba are playing, I think I'm gonna just give them a nod to win this one. Rivers are such a strong side. They've met in recent times. It's usually going to be a very difficult game when they met in big games, qualification to the Champions League, which Yimba went through ahead, I think, last year. It was a tough game. We've seen Yimba get slight wins over Rivers United, and I think it might not be different this time. The best Rivers United would get would be a draw in Aba, but I see Yimba picking up the win.
Right now, Dakada traveled to Heartland in the other fixture, and there's the story, the surprise package this season, Blind, has been Remo Stars.
Yeah.
Picked up 2 wins. The first game, they went to MFM and got 2 goals and 3 points, and the second game picked apart Heartland, winning 3 goals to nothing. And this time around, they're in action, welcoming Nasarawa United, who've had some blend of twists of fortunes starting this particular season. Remo Stars look exciting, look motivated coming from the lower rung, and of course I have an experienced coach in Benga Gumbote as one of the finest in the Nigerian Professional Football League scene. But you think they've got enough to keep the place in the league at least, or maybe a top 8 finish at the end of the season?
It's quite early for me to start talking about how they'll perform at the end of the season, but it's exciting to see a team from the NNL come from the NNL to the NPFL and playing the way they're playing. First 2 games, they're winning. It's difficult. Not the same story for other teams who moved up from the NNL to the Premier League, but it's exciting to know that such quality is coming from an NNL side, and they're playing exceptional game of football. At this point, I'm looking forward to their games to see how they'll perform, and if they keep playing the way they're playing. And the Nasarawa game is a big test for me. A big test for me. If they get a draw at Nasarawa, then I know that they're a team to watch. For me, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, watching them. Let's see what the outcome of this particular match would be. If the outcome comes good, I think it's a game everybody needs, a team everybody needs to watch out for. Right now, if they continue the way they continue, definitely they might finish a top 10 in the Nigerian Premier League.
Well, the train is moving, and of course, if you're not on it, then it's so much a long thing. I would say the Nigerian Professional Football League has since returned, and it's been exciting very early. We've seen a couple of away wins and away draws, and building from what we saw last season. It's clearly a matter of quality and not really the sheer sentiment of who's home or who is away. Something we quite appreciate in leagues outside of Nigeria, and it's exciting that these things are beginning to happen here on a very consistent basis. Quality and of course sheer quality that should underline, and of course getting points wherever, and not the sheer sentiment of whether you're home or away. It's match day 3, and of course we're looking forward to this matches. Well, from a sentimental perspective,
Okay.
looking forward to Akwa United. Let's see how far the Promise Keepers would go later this particular evening. They're taking Gombe United at the Gosselek International Stadium, otherwise known as the Nest of Champions, while Dakar FC, the other team from Akwa, but mean the NPFL, they're away at Heartland FC of where we talk about the star game of the week, match week 3. It has to be Rivers United traveling to face Enyimba at the Enyimba International Stadium in Aba. We're hoping that these games live up to the billing and, of course, provide the excitement the fans across Nigeria are much yearning for. Now, let's leave the NPFL for a bit and talk about football transfers. And Blyden, there's